what's up you guys, it's Audrey and welcome back to my channel. Today's video has been really highly requested. I know I say that in like literally every video, but this is how to tell if your pointe shoes are dead and just kind of tips to tell when they're going to die, because I know people give very false tips to people. Like when I first got on Pointe, I was like kind of confused when to tell or like how to know when your pointe shoes were dying, and people would just give some really false information. So I hope this can help you, and yeah, let's just get right into the video. And before anyone asks, yes, I am wearing glasses today, obviously the elephant in the room, but I've had glasses for like a year now. I just never really wear them in videos, but I just felt like wearing them today, so yeah. So I think I'm just gonna first start out with the things people generally think their shoes are dead and they're not, and people get rid of their shoes, and pointe shoes are very expensive and you could keep them for way longer. I know, like I just said, they're really expensive, so it's good to kind of actually know, because when I first got on Pointe, people would tell me like, oh, your shoes are dead, and I'm like, I didn't know anything, but I was like, I don't think these are dead. Like like someone told me, I was like, look at how like my box, it's, it was just breaking in, and someone told me it was dying, and I was like, girl, no, it's just breaking in. Like, and now I've been on Pointe for a year and I've learned some things and I've watched some videos and I actually did some research for you guys, so it's just not what I'm saying. I've actually done some research for you guys, so you have some more options. First thing, like I just said, some people will tell me this is an obviously dead shoe. These were my first pair and I basically dissected them, so they're obviously very dead. These are not danceable. And these are brand new shoes. These are both Grishkos. I just got back into Grishkos. So yeah, this is a completely dead shoe and this is a brand new shoe. But I will show you a shoe that someone would possibly tell you is dead. So I think these are them. Okay, so right here, I'll show you a sign to tell if your shoes are dead. As you can tell, these don't look very dead, and these are Russians, and Russians, they have wooden shanks and they're not like cardboard layered and like glued together like a lot of shoes are, so they're a little different. And personally, my preference is I don't usually wait for my shoes to die on me. My shank just starts getting softer and my boxes get a little softer, and I have very flexible ankles and it's not really safe for me to keep going over my shoe, like the tip of it over where my big toe is, and it's just not really safe, and I like a harder shoe for the things that I do. I just don't really like to wait for them to die on me. But that's just my personal preference. If you like really soft shoes, definitely go for it, but just make sure they're not dead like this, because you can definitely hurt yourself with completely dead shoes. But a few signs, like I've been saying, is if your shoe, not like this one, but I know this one's super dead, this kind of like break in the box, or I mean the shank, sorry. I will show you a shoe, I think, that has it. A lot of these, when they're on, you can tell is right. It's okay if this part is bending in your shoe, because that's where your heel is and it's like in the shoe like that. But if you notice it's just completely kind of bent right here, that is definitely what I'd say dead, or at least dying a lot, because that is where most of your strength is in the shoe. And up here, that's not really a big deal. That's really what's going to be breaking in at first. But if you notice a complete bend in the shoe, and I'll show you this right there, because obviously this will bend, but if it's completely bent there, that's definitely dead, because that's where your strength is in the shoe. So make sure you look for that most of all. And then secondly, if you notice, I know this is something a lot of dancers find pretty, and I do too, it's really pretty, but you can get hurt, like I've been saying. So when you're up on your shoe and you notice you're going over, like I said, I have very flexible ankles, but I don't even do this. I go over my big toe, just, it's more of like an aesthetic appeal kind of, so that's okay. But if you're going completely over your shoe, that's very unsafe actually, and it probably means you don't have a like a hard enough shank for you. You can ask your fitter for a hard shank. You don't just have to have like the normal shoe. I order shoes in hard shanks. These are not hard shanks because I'm just kind of testing them out. but I ordered my Russians are mostly all hard shanks because I would go through my shoes in like a month or maybe even less than that, and that's probably not too good. It's like I said, they're expensive and you don't want to be going through them that fast. So if you are going through them that fast, make sure to ask your fitter about hard shanks. They are a little hard at first, obviously, but you do break them in. Obviously, if you have stronger feet and that's why you're breaking them in faster, then you'll break in hard shanks. Not that bad. They're really not that scary when you first get them. They're a little questionable, but don't worry. And then my next tip is, this is something I actually didn't really think about. This is something I researched. But if a shoe, I'll show you the new shoe. You can tell you can't really squeeze. It's hard right here and it's hard right here. And I always kind of like bend my box a little bit, and it will get squishy here first, way bendable right there, but it won't be up here. So if it is bendable all the way down to here, as you can tell I'm pressing down in this shoe, that's a dead box basically. And if you can squeeze the sides, because the sides really help, and if those are going, which I usually always get through my shank first before my box. I'm not really someone who goes through my box, but as you can tell, that's completely hard. These are getting pretty squishy, and a lot of my pointe shoes you'd probably say are not dead, that you could still dance in. Personally, like I said, I like a harder shoe, so that's just my preference. But yeah, if you are just going over, just make sure to watch for that. I'm going to show you a few more of my shoes and tell you reasons why your shoes aren't dead, not just showing you how they are, because I know a lot of people will be like, oh, my shoe's dead. Someone has once told me from the looks of the bottom of my box that my shoes are dead, and don't listen to anyone who says that, because that does not make your shoe dead at all. How the satin is coming off, you know, like fraying off, that does not make your shoe dead. I don't even know why she said that. You just can't really listen to everyone. Make sure you have your research before you just go buy a new shoe after someone who's only been on Pointe for a very little time tells you that your shoes are dead. Like, because your mom's gonna be like buying too many Pointe shoes, and she's gonna be like, no, like this is too expensive. So watch yourself before you go get a bunch of new Pointe shoes, because you might not need them. But yeah, this is bending. Then another thing that people will tell you your shoes are dead about is when this happens. I honestly thought something was wrong with my shoe, and then I asked my friend, is this normal? And she was like, yes, this is normal. One of my shoes actually came like this one time, and her mom actually like made her take her shoes back, which is very depressing, honestly. Like she'd already sewed them. It's a long story, but yeah, if your shoe is coming off of the shank like this and it's brand new, or you've only had it for a little, don't worry. They probably just didn't glue it right, and you've been dancing in it and sweating. It's just broken apart. It does not mean your shoe is dead. Just an FYI, because some people think that. There's some crazy reasons. Here's a new shoe, once again. Not very bendable. Box is a little squishy. If your box is squishy and your shank is bending, that's good. It's just breaking in. I know people who are watching this who are more advanced probably are like, of course, but people who are new sometimes just get confused, and if your box is like a little bit squishy, that's why it's not dead. Don't worry yet. Yeah, so I'll show you some more dead shoes. This is very bendy right now. As you can tell, I'm squishing the sides. If this is bendy, you know, that's kind of not too great, like super bendy like that. But obviously this is, I think like your box is really going. And obviously if you can feel the floor, it's really just starting to go away. And yeah, so this shoe, as you can tell, a lot of my shanks just really aren't completely gone, but when they start getting softer, like, as you can tell, this shoe. Yeah, I wore this for a while. I think these were hard shanks, but I just like strength in my shoe, and yeah. So I think that's all I can really tell you guys. Just make sure you know before you go and get new shoes, just to make sure you're not just, you know, buying a bunch of shoes every, you know, month or something because you think your shoes are dead. And they might be dead, so I hope these tips did help you in some way, because I know it can be very confusing when you first get on Pointe. Yeah, also I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for 400 subscribers. yeah, my goal is 1K by my birthday. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that, but you guys leave such sweet and awesome comments about like sharing my videos with your friends or how helpful my videos are, and that just makes my day so much. So much for watching today's video. I hope it helped you in some way because I know it can be very confusing when you first get on Pointe. So yeah, if you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe right down below and give this video a big thumbs up so we can all be pals. I hope you guys have an awesome day and or awesome spring break. My spring break is over, but I know some people's is this week, so yeah. Have an awesome spring break, or I hope you already had one. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.